To News at 10. I am Emedion James coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at today's headlines. President Tinubu urges West African leaders to operationalize ECOWAS standby force. Senate set to hold public hearing in 6 geopolitical zones. Plus, Iran threatens U.S. bases in response to strikes on nuclear site. Details of these stories and more in just a moment. Good morning and thank you for joining us. We begin the news this morning from a national scene where Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has charged his West African colleagues on the need to operationalize the ECOWAS standby force as a potent tool to crush terrorism in the sub-region. Tinubu stated this in his capacity as the chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, authority of heads of state and government, shortly before he handed over to Julius Mbada Bello of Sierra Leone. He said Nigeria will continue to be committed to the peace, integration, and economic prosperity of the sub-region. He said no nation can address the challenges of terrorism and external security threats in the sub-region alone. Hence, the need to translate the ECOWAS standby force from concept to reality to serve as a regional counter-terrorism force. Tinubu said he was worried over the slow pace of the force, which was supposed to be constituted with soldiers drawn from all ECOWAS member states. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has directed security agencies to redouble their efforts in defeating the remnants of Boko Haram insurgents in the country. Tinubu made the call while mourning the victims of the suicide bombing in Konduga, Borno State, according to a statement by the Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, on Sunday. The president described the attack as an act of cowardice. He commiserated with the Borno state government and the people of the state over the incident. He also directed the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to support the survivors. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu today congratulated the chairperson of the Avon Healthcare Limited, Dr. Awale Elumelu, as she celebrates her 55th birthday. The president joined family and friends in celebrating the woman he described as a distinguished physician, devoted mother and wife, a philanthropist and entrepreneur, acknowledging her contributions to national development, particularly in the healthcare and empowerment sectors. In a statement issued by Bayo Nanuga, Special Advisor to the President, Information and Strategy, Tinubu lauded Elumelu for her achievement and numerous accolades. He specifically praised her unwavering dedication to improving lives and empowering vulnerable groups. From the Red Chambers now, where The Senate Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution is set to organize a comprehensive two-day zonal public hearing in the country's six geopolitical zones to gather Nigerians' input on a proposed constitutional amendment. The committee, chaired by the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Baru Jibrin, said the public hearing would be held simultaneously in Lagos, Southwest, Enugu, Southeast, Ikotekpene, South-South, Jos, North Central, Maiduguri, Northeast, and Kano, Northwest. The convention is convened to gather the input of citizens on the proposed amendment to the nation's constitutions. Special advisor to the Deputy President of the Senate on Media and Publicity, Ismaili Madasher, revealed this in a statement on Sunday. He said the hearing, scheduled for July 4th and 5th, 2025, will examine critical national issues, including local government autonomy, electoral and judicial reforms, state creation, state police, and inclusive governance. On electoral matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has said that no group has applied for registration as a political party. This electoral umpire insisted that associations seeking to be registered as political parties must follow laid down guidelines and abide by legal and administrative requirements for registration. Admitting that over 100 associations are in queue, the Commission said none of them has submitted a formal application to it yet. National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumekong, told newsmen that what INEC has received so far are letters of intent and not formal applications. Meanwhile, the media space has been awash with the request by the All Democratic Alliance (ADA) for registration as a political party ahead of the 2027 elections. Let's move now to Africa, where a regulatory agency announced Saturday that the Democratic Republic of Congo has extended its ban on cobalt export for 3 months, a measure aimed at curbing an oversupply of the key material for electric vehicle batteries. The world's largest supplier of cobalt, a country imposed a 4-month export ban in February after prices hit a 9-year low of just $10,000 per pound. Aircoms plans to announce a further decision to modify, extend, or lift the suspension before the end of this year's 3-month period, which will conclude in September. Reports on Friday said that Congolese authorities were considering extending the ban as they reviewed the allocation of cobalt export quotas among mining companies. Several industry players, including Jinklo, the world's second largest cobalt producer, support the introduction of these quotas. However, Jinko's position differs from that of the leading producer, the Chinese group CMOC, which is actively campaigning for the ban to be lifted. On the foreign scene, Iran on Sunday threatened U.S. bases in the Middle East after massive airstrikes that Washington said had destroyed Iran's nuclear program, though some officials cautioned that the extent of the damage was unclear. International concerns focus on fears that the unprecedented U.S. attacks would deepen conflict in the bilateral region after Israel launched a bombing campaign against Iran earlier this month. Ali Akbar, an advisor to Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, said bases used by U.S. forces could be attacked in retaliation. Recall that President Donald Trump urged Iran to end the conflict after he launched surprise bunker buster strikes on a key underground uranium enrichment site at Fordo, along with nuclear facilities in Isfahan and Natanz. So on the foreign scene, the UN's 193 member states will mark Thursday the signing of the organization's foundational treaty, the UN Charter, on June 26, 1945 in San Francisco. After after ratification, the United Nations came into being on October 24th. The anniversary comes as the world body faces a multifaceted crisis that has raised questions about its future. That inaction is largely due to the veto power of the Council's five permanent members: Britain, China, France, Russia, and the United States, which have competing interests. For Romo Alon Scora, a research fellow at the French Institute for International and Strategic Affairs, the credibility issue can only result in virtual disappearance of an organization that is already a political dwarf on the world stage. But the experts say while the UN desperately needs to enact tough reforms, not all of its problems come from within, and it has become an easy scapegoat for its divided membership. Still to come in the news. Super Falcons arrive Portugal for pre-WAFCON friendly. Stay tuned for details of this in just a moment.
Get ready for the exciting showdown, the biggest news, the toughest competition, and the most thrilling moments. From the gridiron to hardwood, and from the pitch to the track. Join us for Sports Central, the most electrifying sports program on television, every weekday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon on Spectrum Television. Sports Central, your home for sports.
Global oil prices spiked by over 2% after the United States of America bombed Iran's three nuclear sites. Oilprice.com data showed that oil prices skyrocketed as trade commenced today. Reports say as of 1:16 a.m. on Monday, Brent crude and West Texas Intermediate future prices stands at $78.99 and $75.81 per barrel, up from $77.7 and $73.83 per barrel on Sunday. Recall that President Donald Trump announced on Saturday that the U.S. successfully bombed Iran's Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan nuclear sites. Iranian authorities had vowed retaliations, which had sent a panic signal across the Middle East and the world at large. Business, the Naira strengthened at the official window in the past weeks to $1,547 from $1,549, supported by intervention from the Central Bank of Nigeria, which injected dollars in the market to ease corporate demand pressures. Analysts also alluded the development to the resilience of the naira to foreign exchange inflows from foreign portfolio investors. Cadros Capital Limited, in an investor note, revealed that FBIS brought in dollars to participate in the open market operation auction by the CBN. The CBN conducted an OMO auction driven by its continuous efforts to absorb excess system liquidity. The Central Bank of Nigeria offered 600 billion naira across the 155-day and 204-day tenors, attracting strong investors' interest with total subscription reaching 1.14 trillion naira. Ultimately, the CBN allocated 1.7 trillion naira with stop rate clearing at 24.20% and 24.59% respectively. On a health news, Edo State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Cyril Oshomole, has confirmed that three fatalities have been recorded following the outbreak of diphtheria in the state. Dr. Shomole made this known over the weekend during a media briefing in Benin City, where he provided update on the public health situation. The commissioner also revealed that 7 cases of dengue fever have been identified in the state, although no deaths have been linked to the virus so far. According to him, the confirmed diphtheria cases were spread across 6 local government areas, but he assured residents that the situation was being managed effectively and remained under control. Reiterating that diphtheria is a vaccine-preventable disease, Dr. Shomale urged parents to prioritize immunization for their children. Still in health, Excellent Community Education Welfare Scheme, a non-profit organization committed to deepening access to health and education, said it is currently supporting treatment for over 300,000 HIV and AIDS patients across the country. He said over 142,000 of these patients are receiving treatment in Akwa Ibom State alone. Addressing journalists in Uyo as part of his activities, marking the organization's 24 years of service to humanity on Friday, the executive director in Akwa Ibom State, Andy Ayo, said the intervention in health, education, and recently agriculture has been very impactful. AO said the organization in the past 24 years has supported close to 200 healthcare facilities, including secondary healthcare facilities across the state in terms of training and infrastructure. To sports news now, where the Oklahoma City Thunder crowned a dazzling season with an NBA title on Sunday, pulling away relentlessly in the second half to beat the Indiana Pacers 103 to 91 in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Shia Gilgeous Alexander scored 29 points and handed out a career playoff high 12 assists, and the Thunder's swarming defense finally proved too much for a Pacers team that lost talisman Tigers to a leg injury just 7 minutes into the contest. The underdog Pacers hung tough and held a 48 to 47 lead at halftime, but the Thunder outscored them 34 to 20 in the third quarter and pushed the lead to as many as 22 points in the fourth. Alexander put himself among some of the game's great as he earned finals most valuable player honors to go with his regular season MVP and scoring title along with his first championship. The 26-year-old Canadian star becomes the first player since LeBron James in 2012 to 2013 to win both the NBA regular season MVP and Finals MVP in the same campaign. Still in sport, the Super Falcons of Nigeria are set for battle against Portugal in a pre-2024 Women's African Cup of Nations friendly. 10 players and backroom staff arrived in Lisbon for the encounter on Sunday night. Former Atletico Madrid forward Omorisola Babajide joined the contingent on arrival in Lisbon. 30 more players are expected to link up with the team in Portugal. Tonight's encounter will hold at the Estadio Jos Gomes in the Amadora precinct of Lisbon. It will kick off at 7 p.m. Nigerian time, same time as in Portugal. On entertainment news, veteran Nollywood actor Femi Branch was barred from exiting a movie location after assaulting the assistant director. In a training video on social media, Femi Branch was blocked at the exit gate of the movie locations by security and the victim's colleagues who were heard saying he cannot leave until he goes back to finish the remaining shooting. Turning to the security, the actor threatened to report them to the exit management for blocking him from leaving. And that's all we have for you at this time. To ensure to follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website at spectrumtvlive.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 10. I am Emedium James. Enjoy the rest of your day and thank you for watching.